All right, with that out of the way, we get into our fourth game of the day. Team Malaysia down to 2 lives, Secret and IG, the two teams that remain with 3 lives. Potential for Malaysia to either be the first team down to 1 life or to drag Secret down to their level and leave IG as the undisputed king so far in day 1. And with that, we're going to go ahead and introduce our teams here. We've got Team Secret on the Radiant side, Malaysia on the Dire. We'll start with Secret. It'll be S4 playing the Brewmaster heading towards bottom. Going mid, at least for now, will be Arteezy on the Gyrocopter. His partner in crime will be Kuroki on the Wisp, looking to get that bounty rune, rush the bottle. Following up will be Puppy playing the Witch Doctor, and that does leave Zai as the offlane clock.
On the Dire side, we've got Team Malaysia. KYXY playing safe lane is on Queen of Pain. We're going to see Ancient Apparition in the hands of Johnny on the support role. We've got Kachik Imba going to be going mid on Shadow Fiend. Earthshaker going to be in the hands of Mushi. And finally, that leaves in the offlane, Ahayo playing Tidehunter.
Yeah, well, we might see a little invade here early on by Secret as they move towards the ramp into the Dire jungle. Not actually going to happen, and do want to point out...
Really want that bounty, that level 1 bounty rune on Wisp.
That would be sweet, and it looks like they should get it, judging by the position of these heroes.
Malaysia's like, we ain't getting this. Let's go bottom lane. Let's try and take the fight to S4. But S4 holding his ground for now. There's a fissure available, and that's going to cause S4 problems. He gets gushed as well. Ahayo saying, we can get this kill. And that fissure blocks off the ramp. S4's trapped. Ray's leveled up by Ketchikimbo as well, and S4's going to go for the deny. Should not be able to get it. Oh, Roche doesn't hit S4. It's hitting the Tide. S4's like, why? Oh, the clap! Gets him with the clap. And Ahayo's like, okay. Double kill for Roshan. Now we're talking. S4's like, Roshan, why are you betraying me? What are you doing?
Oh my god. So first they miss a raise, then he brings him down to critical HP while under the Roshan. Roche cooperates at first, starts hitting the Tide, but then he bashes the Tide, then the Earthshaker runs in, which triggers the clap, which gets the deny. Oh, and then just for good measure, Tide's like, I might as well deny to Roche. That was the cloudiest series of fails I've seen in some time.
That's fails of the week worthy for sure.
I hope Suns fan is watching.
Oh boy, that was something special. I mean, the biggest mistake there was the Shadow Fiend. You should have waited to KS with the raid. Not even KS, just like secure the kill so he doesn't deny to Roshan.
Let him run into the pit, get low enough for the raise will last hit him, and then you throw it out.
Yeah.
But just got a little excited, maybe didn't do the math quite well enough in the heat of the moment, and cost him, in the end, the first blood.
Good zoning from Puppy. Go for that level 1 Maledict you occasionally see from Witch Doctors when they're trying to zone out some of these tankier offlaners like Tide, like your Bristlebacks, and something very effective in general.
All right, guys. So now the lanes are going to settle down a little bit. We will see the rocket, or not the rocket, the homing missile being leveled up here early on, which is a pretty irritating build to lane against. Every time you see that missile get dropped, you basically just walk back to your tower. With the Earthshaker here, maybe you can get away with posting up a little more, but it's not even the damage or the kill potential of the spell itself. It's the fact that every time it's cast on you, you just want to walk away.
Yeah, and that's the big thing is here, there's just constant mana sustain for Arteezy. He can throw the homing missile out for days, whereas the fissures are very limited. Mushi only has the 1 clarity on himself, so at some point you run out of fissures, Arteezy should not run out of mana.
Well, we see the poll results now, thanks to those of you who participated on RedBullBattlegrounds.com, and
sure, they challenged IG.
The people have spoken. They wanted the vanilla, the safe choice, just to make sure that IG or Secret at least lose 1 game moving into the 4th match.
I'm with the voters, man. I'm partly biased because I wanted that Secret versus IG matchup, but I think it maybe was the strategic move to make as well.
So this obviously really hurts Malaysia. Not only missing on the first blood, but now their Tidehunter in the offlane is leveled up Gush, and that makes him a whole lot easier to kill. As we see this endless homing missile harass. Boink again. Just forcing on the Shadow Fiend off the lane. He's only got 7 CS gods, and even if he's got some stacks in the jungle, that's something that the Gyro Wisp could look to contest and even steal once they get level 6 on the Gyrocopter.
Oh yeah, you're going to be a bit careful here, and we'll see Wisp maybe hit level 3 soon. They can get really aggressive and start considering diving if they ever think Earthshaker is not nearby. Got a DD rune up on Kuro, but mostly just using that to get to the bottle charges to heal up himself and Arteezy and sustain their mana pulls.
Well, you mentioned for Secret that they didn't have the best initiation unless they get the Brew Blade, but the way the game's developing, he's going to have a fast play. He's hardly contested at all bottom lane.
He's made an interesting move here. He's really trying to bait out Ketchikimba in the mid lane, because this is not a hero you'd expect in the mid lane. If you're Secret and going for dive, you're not expecting to get gushed.
Well, top lane in the meanwhile, Zai posting up. If he gets cold feeded, he might be the real first blood of the game. One more auto attack. Malaysia will draw it. And they had to do it the good old-fashioned way after Clowny little Roche just skirmish, but still, for Secret, getting a lot out of their safe lane. It is entirely uncontested, so not all bad by any means.
Yeah. And for S4, it's a completely empty lane. Arteezy at mid is outlasting the Shadow Fiend as well, as you'd kind of expect with the laning setup, but it's worth noting that Shadow Fiend, yeah, he's doing very poorly as far as his farm goes.
Looks like the Earthshaker is stacking the jungle pit again. The homing missiles coming in, and they'll take another doink on the head.
That's the thing. Malaysia have stacks in the jungle. The Ancients, they are in Stack City right now, which is where the catch-up will come for Shadow Fiend, whereas Wisp has not really spent as much time stacking up his own jungle.
I think if you're Secret, though, you played enough Shadow Fiend in your day, you know the stacks are being made, and wouldn't be surprised at all if they use the clockwork to scout them, maybe get the early Wisp relocate and look to contest them, and with the fast brew blink that they'll most likely have, they have the tools to get in nice and close. We will see in the mid lane a bit of a dive on the Kuchikimba. Fissure is available, connects on Kuroki, one raise, and one more auto attack. He gets the kill. A little nice erupting from the Malaysia corner here. They're getting into it.
Yeah, they have. At this point, you've got to pump yourselves up after that loss to Hellraisers. This is an important match. They beat Secret before. If anything, they want to get in Secret's head. They want to say, look, we beat you guys before. You guys are in trouble now that you're versing us. So.
In the past, it has been an interesting divergence between most of the Eastern teams and the Western teams. Looking at the International, for International 2, great example, where Fluff and Stuff and Complexity really felt uncomfortable not having headsets on to be able to communicate over the microphone, and instead the players at first were just kind of yelling at each other loudly in the booth, whereas for a lot of the Asian teams, especially the Chinese teams, they're very used to playing in LAN cafes, to be in a more open environment and just yelling their heads off, basically. So this is kind of more of the old school ladder way.
Some of those players would even play without Dota 2 sounds. Like, I remember, I think it was at TI2 where some of those teams didn't even have earbuds. They were just communicating inside the booth without earbuds and even hear Dota 2 sounds, which do give a lot away about the game. You can hear certain spells, you do get information, but they'd have like one or two players like their mid lane with earbuds and the rest of the team just purely emphasizing the communication. And, well, for now, that's a very kind of Malaysia-oriented way of playing things here as well. They're getting into it and really kind of moving around well in the early game with a 3-to-1 kill advantage.
Well, they might be getting into it as far as the audio goes, but Secret are really getting into it here with the Brewmaster as far as the last hitting goes. Already S4 CSing so incredibly well, entirely uncontested. Arcane Boots, Batsy, and he's got 800 gold towards the Blink Dagger. This is going to be a concern for Malaysia. They don't have a great way to stop the split. They have good burst, not exceptional. They don't have any silences like a Global or a Skywrath to instantly lock them down, and they may struggle to deal with this.
Up, but this is not what he's hoping to find. It's a double. He was hoping for much, much more out of this smoke.
It's the same stuff we were seeing at Starladder. The stack snipes.
This is not that big. I mean, it was a double stack. If that's a triple or a quad stack, it's a lot more.
I think they really expected a bigger one, given that it's a Wisp mid. Normally, you'll see a triple or a quad.
Absolutely. That was not that crucial for Malaysia. It could have been really big. He's going to scout the other camps. Doesn't find all too much. Okay, no, Mushi said, here's where the money's at. Here's a triple.
I found the mother load. Come and get it, Kuchikimba.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, Radiant Squad has scouted out the dire jungle a bit with Swift Illusions.
This is good for Malaysia if the Haya can bait him into the Shadow Fiend raises.
They're going to throw in the Gush, and now they're bringing in backup. S4, he is a beautiful bounty to be claimed. One raise, two raise, they get Puppy, and they may find the brew, but he's got to split one clap. He'll split quickly, and now the Gyro ult comes in. Golden on the KYX, but they bring him down. They're looking for more. With the relocate not ready yet, they can just run down Kuchikimba. Thought he might have gotten close to 6 there, but doesn't quite have it yet. Doesn't need it either.
Good rotations from Secret, and that's one of those big problems where Queen of Pain went for 2 points in Shadow Strike. Well, I guess if he had 3 and 3, he has level 1 Blink, so he didn't have a good way out of there. And that Blink forward, they didn't even need the Queen of Pain for the ones that they got. If anything, the Queen of Pain rotation was a poor decision from Malaysia. They weren't ever going to kill Brewmaster because the split was available, and that's where KYXY is going to be regretting that rotation.
Of all the waves to gank, it's the one that's most well equipped to rebuff the assault. Brew already at level 6. This is a scary time now, as Secret will pressure up this lane. S4 up to 1,500 gold.
Johnny does hit level 6 at top, so we could see that Ice Blast get thrown down towards bottom lane. He's going to throw it soon, though.
And they need some sort of setup. The Fissure probably the main way to deal with this, but right now the Earthshaker not even remotely in the neighborhood. Here comes the dive, they force out the Queen of Pain Blink, and that will secure the tower. This homing missile, just such a good zoning spell.
Yeah, he's gone. I don't know if he's going to keep leveling up. I think at this point, the 2 points is enough. At 1, you're kind of laning stage, and the plan from here is going to be start leveling up Flak for the farm efficiency. Mid lane.
There's the fissure, the ice blast you mentioned, enough to secure the kill. Yeah. Very smooth move by Kachikimbo, who suddenly is nearly even with that Brewmaster in terms of net worth.
Oh, he's played really well, considering it's such a tough lane, just played it patiently, really showing his prowess in this mid lane, understanding the matchup well, not getting too aggressive, giving away any kills. And I feel like it helps having your defensive support mid lane be someone who's probably played this Shadow Fiend versus Wisp dual lane matchup as well. Mushi knows what kind of support to offer Ketchik, knows that he can support him to some extent, but also needs to make sure he has stacks, because if he sat mid lane without stacking, Ketchik is not ever catching up. He has to stack, but at the same time, you also want to keep him alive.
Well, now that the Ice Blast is ready, we're just going to see an endless barrage of these things as one will head towards the bottom lane, where S4 farming up. Will he walk back into it? He will. Step right back in. Queen of Pain may engage now. KYXY a little worried about the Drunken Haze. He doesn't want to force the issue.
He had maybe 4 points in Scream there. He could go for it, but...
A lot of pressure by this AA, though. Even when they're not getting a kill, it's just forcing Secret to play more defensively and keeping them a bit on the back foot. They're going to TP out the Brew, though, and he does have his Blink Taker Ball now if he wants to buy it. Yeah. Picks it up.
And right as his clap comes back up, I think he's probably asking for a smoke. Yeah, gets bought a smoke from Kuro, so going to make his next move and probably look to smoke up, maybe with the support.
And they have the relocate almost. Just a wave or two more and they'll have it.
He can kill pretty much anyone on the map, outside of maybe Queen of Pain, who can get that fast blink escape.
There's no Ravage either. There's no great counter initiation, at least not yet for Team Malaysia. They got to be very cautious now.
This is almost, if this doesn't lead to a kill, it's a big win for Malaysia. Puppy, though, going to get killed by KYXY.
Oh, he reveals the blink as well. S4 jumping into KYXY's cone of vision.
That's a huge win.
A big loss for Team Secret. Did they use the smoke as well, or
no? He just used it now. So he's right after the kill, and he's looking for Kitchik in mid lane. I think that's the biggest kill the match be getting.
Radiant's bottom
trying to make them move in, but look who's in position to cancel this. It's going to be Johnny. He may end up falling. Blink. If there's no split immediately, he'll make it out. And
wow, Malaysia are playing so smart
lane. There's a hook in onto the Tidehunter. Bit of an engagement coming here as Ohio doesn't have the Ravage just yet. Good move by Zai. Finds himself a solo kill and may set up here for a push on mid.
Yeah, that's a nice play because Secret was struggling so much to find kills on the Vessels. Two missed blink kills. But 2 blinks already that didn't amount too much. S4 mid, forced to Brew split defensively.
May help them take the tower.
Okay, yeah, it'll help them take the tower, but again, you'd love to find kills off of this.
Let's see if they get punished on the way out. Good cycle in there, keeping the Shadow Fiend back.
Look to kill Brew.
Measure coming through, and it almost hits the Brew as the split ends. Instead, KYXY and Mushi get caught in the cast. Heavy damage. He goes with the Echo.
Evasion
miss! Johnny's
chasing!
Walking away. It'll be Johnny next. Kachikimbo maybe thereafter, dropping the Requiem. One more auto attack. Who's going to win the fight? Nobody, apparently.
Oh, Zai wins the fight.
Yes, it is.
Doesn't even have to participate in the fight, and he wins it for his team.
Ay, ay, ay.
Wow.
What a mess. He almost timed the Blink Scream so that it hit as the Brew split ended and he reformed, but it was just like a quarter of a second off.
Oh, man.
Then he ends up dying. The Earthshaker comes in to help, gets caught by a bouncing cask, and the whole fight just falls apart. And gods, we're 12 minutes in, still no Ravage. It's crippling Team Malaysia. They just get it now.
Malaysia just went too all in on trying to time that fissure to catch the Brewmaster as he came out of the split. It missed, the Scream missed, and everything fell apart from there, unfortunately. But now they do have Ravage. They've got tied up to level 6. But this is all being scattered out. Some good Radiant vision and deep in the Dire jungle. And this, oh boy, they scattered out.
Let's see if Team Malaysia knows. They're going to send the Clockwork into position here. Zai will break the smoke. Malaysia dropping a ward. They're getting rushed off one side. Now looking to retreat. Chilling touch comes out, and with the Ice Blast, they almost get him. He tries to hook his way to safety.
That's what's going down. I guess he was really like expecting them to head towards mid, I guess. Zai did not need to be there.
Relocate bottom after the Queen of Pain blink. KYXY. Oh, it's only Kuro though. Doesn't have any backup. 5 seconds. Turns with the ult. Not enough with the overcharge coming through. KYXY may end up going down. They just need a crit. No, the clap will do it anyway. And they get the kill. They're going to put the S4 back, and they're immediately rumbling top lane. Not sure about that turn. No, they didn't have the Brew split, and they just waddle into a gigantic Ravage. Easy knockdown there for Ohio.
Couple uncharacteristic mistakes there. Kuro bringing back the Brew into death, and I'm not sure what happened, whether it was Kuro total or intended target for that. Arteezy Rambo in top lane. He's going to go down quickly. Nice read from Ketchik. unfortunately, Johnny's going to pay the price as Zai TP's in, traps him in a cog.
Oh, great death forward by Puppy. Walks back. The Earthshaker trying to hunt him down on the tree line, but no way to stop the death forward at that point. Finally gets up the fissure on one hero, but the damage was done, and both teams just back and forth over extensions, and resulting, it's a very action-packed Dota here, Gods, early on.
Oh, yeah. Someone left their ball behind. They're going to find Zai, though. Worth leaving the ball
behind as well. He's going to hook to safety. Okay. Oh, the heal's really coming into play here. Both teams, 5v5 Dota. This is a crazy amount of aggression. Now they go in. They've got the Bruce Split ready. S4, blink, clap, initiation, Kachikin, but no mech yet. He's really struggled to complete this. I think it's even coming on the Courier now, but into the trees he goes. The Courier man deployed as well. Boulder toss. Not enough to finish him. They pop him in the end with the whip. As the Earthshaker looks to be next. Looks like the Rocket gonna dink him while he's in the air, but that's okay. Rocket barrage, couple of auto attacks, and Mushi also will bite the dust. Every time there's a big ult up, a Ravage or a Bruce Split, it's just right back the other way. Somebody's gonna turn the game around.
By far the most aggressive game we've seen yet. Finally a moment for a Hyder Breeze. He's managing to take some stacks, and this will suddenly be a Blink Dagger. He took ages to get level 6, didn't have any farm.
Did he clear any Ancients? I'm not actually. I don't know
it now, but I think it was that 2 kills at top where he was really far behind, and then the Wisp and Brute came in. Helps it up those 2 kills. Probably got one of. Yeah, he's sitting on 3 kills at the moment, so I think got at least the last of 1, maybe both, and that just gave him a big buff.
And when you're behind like he was, that gives you a lot. Yeah. As there is a hookshot attempted off the mark. It's only Kuro, but the solo kill with the Urn Shard.
Oh, it's not.
Almost.
2 HP.
Still the orb's bouncing. He's going to head back soon, and will a Rocket find him on the way out? I think it's still cooling down. He predicts he'll walk back, but actually TP'd home.
That was a nice relocate. Even though he had no one with him, I think he didn't. I think that time around it was just like, I can get this kill my own. Unfortunately, didn't quite have enough damage against the magic 1 charges of KYXY.
Jesus, man, this is intense. And for Malaysia, it means everything. A loss here, they're down to 1 life, and I mean, maybe they string together a massive series of wins to come back. But at that point, everybody's going to be gunning for them just to knock another team out of the event.
Yeah, Malaysia, they've got...
Nice blast comes in, S4, no split available, but KYXY just can't deal with how tanky S4 is. Easy Drunken Haze, TP out, and finally, Gods, they have the mech. It feels like this is long overdue. It's really been hurting Malaysia not having it.
And you know, S4 going for the Guardian Greaves, this new item. At least it looks that way. He's got the Arcane Boots, he's got the Headdress up. Looks like that's what he has in mind for himself.
Plus he just wants like a straight pipe here even. I think they already have a mech on the Clockwork.
Clockwork, yeah, has the mech as well.
Maybe Clock will go for the Guardian Greaves.
Okay. See, yeah, possibly, yeah, about to say Clockwork X is the one building Guardian Greaves, you're right. Maybe they're going for like a mech pipe, let's 5-man push your high ground with mech pipe, a BKB Gyrocopter. Speaking of Gyrocopter, farming up some Ancients now. He's in almost completed that BKB of his.
Yeah, I think the item that S4 could really go for here is a Vlad's. Would go pretty well with the Gyro. You are up against the AA though. Yeah. It's such a good Ancient Apparition game. You're countering the Witch Doctor heal, the Wisp, potentially even lifesteal from the Brew. And
I think you're right.
A lot of heals to deal with.
It's going to be the Vlad's coming out. I mean, you're standing kind of Brew now.
All of a sudden, Gyro has a lot of lifesteal. He's got the Dominator, and he's currently farming up a nice fat stack of Ancients. And he'll have a lot more regen to work with, and I feel like that's where this Ancient Apparition play has to be on point as the game moves forward.
Dire's middle tower.
Well, we'll see what Malaysia's next move's going to be. It feels like they needed to sit back, farm up, Kachik, get up to his BKB especially. And KYXY and the Queen of Pain has had a bit of a rough game. Level 3 with the 4 assists. He's not got the kind of farm he'd hope for.
All right, looking at Malaysia now, the big item is, like you said, I think that KYXY Orchid, he really is going to need it to deal with the Brew. And the good news is Brew may have a very delayed BKB the way he's itemizing. There's still the defensive relocate, but generally you're going to want to reserve that for the Gyrocopter.
Having a fast Orchid when Brew blinks in before he can ulti. If he goes for a clap, you have to get the silence. Even if he doesn't go for the clap, you should still be able to silence him before he ultis if you've got fast fingers. And KYXY's mechanics are up there with the best of them, so should be able to see him get that quick silence off if needed.
Arteezy now BKB complete, and for Malaysia, can they deal with this? That's basically the question at this point. They're almost entirely magic damage. Kachik Imba has no big DPS items. Oh, bottom lane, Echo. Quap ult, see you later, S4, says Mushi, as they will jam him back into the well. Very smooth. smooth kill by the squad there.
No hook shot for any kind of a counter initiation. They get the TPs out. And Mushi, 1,400 gold. He's the bottom net worth hero, but all you need in this hero is that Blink Dagger, and suddenly you've got a big team fighting AoE hero in Earthshaker.
It's so hard to go high ground. I mean, you already mentioned Secret is not the best lineup at pushing in general. And they're up against one of the dirtiest 5-man defense lineups in the game. This is a game where even if Secret pull ahead and look like they're going to take it may be a very long time to think about cracking Malaysia. And right now, Malaysia looking real good here, Gods.
Yeah, for Secret, it's just keep on farming for the late game with Arteezy. The early game net worth still favoring Secret by about 2,000, but yeah, they've got no real good way to end things here. Take more towers. They don't want to push into Tide, Shadow Fiend, Queen of Pain A. In so many ways, Malaysia have the superior team fight, their better ability to defend high ground to turtle it up. Late game wise, gonna be interesting. Heroes like Brewmaster can fall off quite a lot in the late game, especially when you're not completely snowballing, which right now S4 is not. He's behind Queen of Pain and Shadow Fiend on farm, only barely ahead of the Tide Hunter, so I feel like heroes like Tide benefit a lot more from farm than the Brewmaster in this scenario. If you can get up to like that Arcane Boot, 4-star refresher type status.
Brew is going to find KOX by the scream, will cancel a blink, then silences Puppey to prevent follow-up, but there's the hook. And the clap comes through, gets the kill. Nicely done by Secret, who are immediately going to smoke off of this and make their way towards mid.
Okay. See what they can find. They don't have a hookshot available, but the blink clap split is going to be the big thing that they look to fight around.
They do have to relocate as well, something to keep in mind. And the smoke going to get revealed by the Tide. So they are coming in. Do you want to relocate on this? It could be risky, but they're bringing in the whole gang. 5 heroes hunting that watermelon. And he's going to TP out right where the relocate came from. Almost taunting them on his way
stumbled upon
back.
this. He's like, oh, they're going to be back here in a few seconds. Let's TP.
Waves his anchor as he jettisons himself towards safety.
Base grade from Mushi, who's now closer and closer to Blink. 100 gold short.
Man, it's been a while since I've heard anyone utter that expression. Space created for Mushi. He's been the guy having to give space to his team for some time now. Oh, the good old days.
And also Kachik, who still needs a BKB on Shadow Fiend. They're getting a couple hundred gold closer to it. They've got decent damage to go through BKB, Witch Doctor, Death Lord. You've got Gyrocopter, who hasn't got much physical damage yet, but you can have a Vladzora for your team. But all in all, Shadow Fiend with a B, as long as he gets his BKB off when he's still fairly healthy, will deal a lot of damage. And it's going to take Secret's entire effort to bring him down, and especially the Death Ward as well.
Honestly, seems like Puppey will be the second biggest damage dealer and most important teamfight hero after the Gyrocopter.
And that's where Malaysia want to focus him. I don't know about focus him, but they want to make sure they either cancel the Death Ward or hit him in the Ravage, get an Ice Blast on him, hit him with the Sonic Wave. Make sure their AoE spells also catch Puppey, not just the core heroes of Team Secret.
BKB is available, Gods, and out it will fly on the shitty Wizard Courier. Moving into position, they'll pick it up now. Do Malaysia look for a fight, do you think, with this? Or do they just continue farming and angling for late game, even with the BKB?
I could see them going for pickoffs or looking to bait. They have Queen of Pain farming bottom lane. This is a bait opportunity where they're hoping kind of maybe a relocate comes in or a gank comes in, and then they counter initiate with Mushi with a Blink Echo. I don't think they'll group up as 5 and go for a push. That's not where their lineup excels. Where their lineup can excel is baiting teammates and defending towers.
Ice Blast being flung towards the bottom lane, but pretty barren bottom lane it is. It'll be a complete whiff.
It's all about from Malaysia, it's find a pick off, go farm, or go farm and then find a pick off. So they're going to just keep playing a slow-paced game. This is not looking like a game that's going to end anytime soon. Possibly one of our first long games of today, apart from that opening game between Summer's Rift and Malaysia.
Yeah, the pauses definitely made that one a little longer than it actually
And this
was.
game is action-packed. At least for the first 15 minutes of the game, we were seeing constant kills and fights from the two teams, but we're kind of entering that stage where both teams will look to farm up their kind of late-game core items, go for smoke ganks when possible. Can't really take Roshan or push very easily, although there is a juicy-looking tier 1 tower here in the mid lane, and that's what Kitchigimba is going to pick up.
Shadow Fiend gets a free tower because Secret just not in position to defend it. Maybe a little scared about some potential smoke play from Malaysia. Zai will walk around in vision of 2 supports. He hooks in onto Mushi. The relocate comes in and the first of the gang. Soon as Fisher can't give it off just yet. Now the clap will end 1. Mushi should be next. Artour able to bring him down. It's a 2-0. Secret coming out way on top there.
It's just such a nice thing to have a relocator on your side when you're a clockwork. You can just go roaming through the most crazy positions on your own. Even if they run at you, suddenly you've got a BKB Gyrocopter being relocated in.
is under
Well,
attack.
then you win a fight off of that. So
Secret really seemed ready for that one. They did not end up trying to take the Shadow Fiend when there was heroes behind him. Then when they do come in, they find the supports, they blow them up instantly, and like you said, just a very good time to have an invis rune on your key initiator.
Blink available for a high. They get the glyph off, but
They don't have the BKB on the gyro, so it seems like this is the time when Secret just want to play it safe.
Magic Imber was walking in as if he was going to try and fight, but if a high had Blink, I think they would have gone for the Blink Ravage there, but it was on cooldown for 2 more seconds from the previous Blink usage, so they did miss their opportunity to maybe catch Secret by surprise. Even with teammates dead, they could either buy back a TP into tier 2, or just win the fight with a Blink Ravage Requiem.
Oh man, it's a dead heat so far, to be honest, Scott. It's a slight lead now for Secret, about 3,000 gold, but both teams with their strengths in the late game. Secret a little bit more mobile and has a very good team fight carrying the gyro, but on the side of Malaysia, the more well-rounded late game lineup. It feels like multiple sources of reliable initiation. They're gonna find Kuro here in the river. Out comes the Echo. He's able to just tether his way to freedom. This has been a game of just hook shots away. May have a little bit of a lag spike here. Looks like everything's settled down though. Cheek Imba, taking a homing missile. We've seen the tether away, the hook away. It's just a get to the chopper kind of game.
I really like the Malaysia late game just because it feels like it's very versatile. They've got decent physical damage. Eccentric Imba caught out. Doesn't get the BKB off until now. He doesn't. Okay, nope. Bitten shot on Manic.
For the Requiem, doesn't have to stick, not using it. Feels like a good time as Arteezy will just BKB his way through that Requiem. Takes basically no damage, now being pursued by homing missile. And where's the backup? Ohio with the big 4-step away, but the missile's gonna follow him. Saves Kachik is slated to fall. He has no way out at this point. Another rocket. They also find the tide. They get forced at the Ravage. The buyback still watch out of people. No Requiem. What can he really do? Ohio blinking out, dodging the clap. They leap forward onto him as KYX fight. Turns attention to Kuroki. Will Ohio Ravage will accept his fate. 4-step to the high ground, but the rocket's there to greet him. Zai again and again keeps on finishing off kills. The last man standing is KYXY, who scurries back to freedom.
Yes, where was the backup for Shadow Fiend and classic S4 Brewmaster, keeping the tide locked down with Cyclones up in the air twice during that fight at the most inopportune moments for Malaysia. Really good execution. You find the Shadow Fiend, the heroes who can back him up and help him just whoa! Huge Ice Blast! Queen of Pain Sonic Wave, but Queen of Pain dies in it. And no one on Secret's side goes down. The mech, the Voodoo Restoration, they're going to heal back up.
Imagine if they had the Ravage right there. How big would that be? A Ravage, a Requiem, anything. But now, the Roshan is slowing down here. Mushi blinks forward and tries to grab it. It'll cost him his life as well. And all of a sudden, what was basically a dead heat through the first 20 minutes.
Oh, and Johnny now caught out at the bottom.
Is turning into a very one-sided round. Johnny under the call down, chucks out a nice blast. He'll die as well. Malaysia self-destructing at the 25-minute mark.
Absolutely. This game was very even. Malaysia had plenty of good late-game options, but they make a few bad fights in a row, and it's something which is going to happen. Wisp relocates have a way of finding those pickoffs and punishing mistakes harder than any other hero in the game, and that's where, against a Clockwork Wisp lineup, it's so unforgiving. You make a small mistake, and suddenly it turns into a huge lost team fight, because you lose out 1 or 2 heroes at the start, and then suddenly Wisp relocates and find 3 or 4 more, and suddenly you're team wiped. So Malaysia going to find their high ground under siege now by an Arteezy Gyrocopter who's got a Sanjin Yasha and a Demon Edge on top of that. Suddenly, Arteezy well ahead of the pack on farm.
Yeah, at this rate, MKB is not far off, and this is long before anyone in Malaysia gets their first real big damage or luxury item. We're nowhere near the Shadow Fiend Butterfly. The refresher for Tide seems like a distant dream at this point. And for Malaysia, they're desperate for some kind of momentum. They have the Ravage, also the Shaker available, but immediately KYXY caught and burst down. And Mushi's been initiated on by a Wistful Ball here. Just walks into him in the tree line and blinks him down with the Pea Shooter, while the Witch Doctor does a little bit of extra work from the sides. That was just great anticipation by Kuro. And well, I wonder why this Tide Hunter is trying to defend this tower so hard with this team. Probably there's a Shaker in the trees. Great game sense, and it looks like it may even be a lane of Rex for
They have 2 main things to scout out heroes in the trees. You've got Earthshaker and Tide both trying to use the trees to their advantage, but you've got Wisp Spirit, you've got Rocket Flare. And as a result, these heroes who think they're safe in trees aren't actually safe at all. Ohio's going to look to do something kind of sneaky here, but he needs teammates alive. For damage, he can't go in by himself.
Malaysia, should they go on to lose this, which certainly feels like the way the game is headed. They are on 1 life the rest of the way, gods, and
Oh boy.
I guess they still have the reflector, so they can dodge one challenge, but you know more are going to be coming.
And who knows if that challenge is even at them. If Summer's Rift is up next and challenges whoever, they could make a deal. They say, look, we're going to challenge you, use your reflector, and give us Malaysia, and we'll look to knock them out. Free,
quick heel trip from Kuro, and all of a sudden, Secret back at full strength. They are just beefing up in a big way at this point, getting very tanky and difficult to stop. But Gyro seems almost unkillable with the Brew and the Clockwork just always supporting him and setting up a good perimeter so that nobody can really get close. And he's never the first man into the fight. It's always the Clockwork initiating, and then the Gyro comes in. And there's just no way for Malaysia to stop that BKB at that point. Well, we expected a pipe, or we're actually going to see it from somebody else. It's going to be, in the end, a Wisp pipe.
Yeah, I mean, things will slow down now, it looks like. And Secret, I guess, still of Aegis may go for another 5-man push, but they've got some big items picked up. I mean, taking a look at some of them, MKB on Gyrocopter. Clockwork now has a loaded sword, so you can throw that Echo Shell onto the Gyrocopter in the front line.
He's going to be almost a point now. The hook, this time it gets blocked by S4. Not on the same page as Zion. Looks like the rocket won't connect. BKB forced out on Gyro, and they're still chasing in. The Death Ward trying to finish off the Shadow Fiend, won't do it. Doesn't even kill Johnny. Unfortunate there for Secret, not able to finish the kill, and Zai's probably just a little bit frustrated that he couldn't get that hook off.
Yeah. Well, for Secret, they are ready to go high ground with Aegis in hand, and S4 can initiate it on anything he wants now that he doesn't have to worry about the Orchid because of this BKB completion.
Dire's middle tower
this is really handy for him to have.
Secret moving up towards the high ground. The pipe gets activated, and in they go. And this tower seems all but certain to go down. Secret will take it, and if they take this lane of Rax, they are just one lane away from Mega Creeps, closing in on a win here and remaining undefeated, should they manage to do so. They haven't been challenged a whole lot, but hey, 3 lives is 3 lives. Now Mushi, top lane, gets trapped. He tried to leave the base, he'll be punished for it. Brought down, now the Brew split onto Johnny, a hook forward from Zai. One small leap for the top. A giant jump for Team Secret. 2 heroes down, might be 3. K-Wax by stun and dead. And Malaysia with no buybacks may just tap out now. Secret seem unstoppable in this game.
Really good at taking advantage of even the smallest Malaysia mistakes. They just found their opening windows, capitalized upon them, and then Malaysia just crumbling bit by bit. They were kind of neck and neck for most of the game. That 3,000 gold lead was really nothing when you're 23 minutes in. But suddenly, in the course of 7 minutes, we're looking at a 20k plus gold advantage going Secret's way. 4 racks down, and Secret looking to go for that crushing blow in the top lane. Put them down the top. They may not have an Aegis any longer in Arteezy, but there's more scary items flying out.
Do they really need it? They've got the defensive relocate, the Witch Doctor heal, you have the Echo Shell you mentioned, the pipe. Yeah, it's a lot of ways to deal with any sort of Malaysia onslaught.
I don't see Arteezy very likely dying the front lines. If Secret want to play things cautiously and safe, they can back off, and looks like they may just farm for a bit longer. They've got the entire dire jungle to take advantage of, and most of the map to take advantage of, as Malaysia really just bottled up now. And
Malaysia is hard to throw against when all 5 are alive with their ultis, but if you're Secret, you maybe just wait for that next stages, and then you just let Zai lead the way with the hook shot. Once he gets the hook, Malaysia at best are running away. They're certainly not initiating on you.
Secret, their first game of Red Bull Battlegrounds and their first game of 6.84, and things looking pretty good for them.
It's been a solid showing for this team. Not quite the dominant fashion they exhibited at DAC, which seems like it was their best tournament so far as a team, but still solid, and looking like they're going to take their first win here if they can keep it up.
Yeah, so not sure if they're waiting for any kind of key item here or if they're just trying to wait things out. Okay, there we go. Arteezy picks up a Glimmer Cape of his own. Normally an item you'd expect him to support, but I mean, this is
they're all magic damage, right?
Yeah,
you just pop this thing and Malaysia can't even scratch you.
It's attack speed, it's spell resistance.
Glimmer Cape and BKB with a pipe backing him up, heals and relocate. He's basically invincible, I feel like.
Okay. I mean, I feel like it's actually, that's the crazy thing about this item. When you can get this as a, 6th item, I think it's just like, okay, we've won the game. or at least we take 4 racks. What's an item I can buy now to just go for this game-winning push? And he's like, yeah, Glimmer Kit. This item's damn good right now.
Yeah, well, who knows? Maybe we'll start seeing it on more cores, and at that point, perhaps it sees another nerf or two.
On paper, you don't need to buy on your cores because your teammates can cast it on you. But hey, I guess the more the merrier with this team. Or actually,
I mean, there's just so many nice buffs that you can throw on frontline carries right now. Between that, you get the medallion buff along with the potential evasion that comes out when you upgrade it, and you just can't kill that frontliner, it feels like. I feel like that's where we may just see a lot more of the Dragon Knight type heroes in this patch moving forward. But now S4 blinks in on Nabushi with the pipe active, not yet. Using the split, just clubbing him back to the well. They force out the KG, give him a BKB. They'll secure the tower. Now they'll brew split for a bit of zoning. Clockwork Hook still available. They're going to cycle it up the Tide, and with the Tide up in the air for some time, that'll be the tower. Probably the third lane of Rax. Malaysia pretty much have to go now and just throw bodies at the secret spot, but they can't, because the Death Ward Tiger causes forced Ohio back. They're getting nothing during this time. Kichigeva unable to wreck him because the BKB's down. He finally gets it off, but Secret, they've already got the Mega Creeps. They're diving them to the well. Another one from Zion. He just keeps on laying them in. And Arteezy will start the Fountain Farm. Secret looking good here in their opening battlegrounds.
Shoots Mushi there. Actually, no, he goes to the Fountain anyways. It's GG. Okay, that's Team Secret. That was a decent showing from them and a good start to their Red Bull Battlegrounds Dota 2 campaign.
They played well, but it also felt like Malaysia just that one fight right before the Roche, and then they just completely self-destructed. One by one running into the pit, getting picked off, and Secret, give them credit, they just capitalized.